Thanks for joining me, y'all. We're going to go through a progression leading into some back bends. Begin by grounding into your space, planting your feet on the ground, just giving your neck and head a couple of rolls from side to side. Then we'll inhale up and down, really grounding into the space, feeling into your body. Inhale and exhale. One more, inhale, this time folding over the legs as you exhale. Bending the knees and straightening up. Good. Go ahead and walk your hands all the way out to a downward facing dog. Pedaling through the feet, pressing through the hands and shoulders, tilting the tailbone up towards the sky. Bringing your body into a plank position, pulling the belly button into the spine, squeezing the glutes. Go ahead and tap each shoulder. Opposite shoulder's hand, trying to keep your body as steady as possible. There will be a little bit of tilting. We want to try and avoid too much. Go ahead and open to side plank. Bring the hand to bicep, rotate elbow to elbow pit, and back up. And then coming back into plank, we'll do the other side, side plank, hand to bicep, elbow to elbow pit, rotating in and back out. And then coming back into plank and lifting the hips to downward facing dog. We'll lift the left leg up, bending the knee, opening the hip, rounding out the spine, looking with the head up towards the toes. And the other side, lifting the right leg, bending at the knee, rounding the back, reaching the head towards the toes, and coming back to downward facing dog. And we'll lift the left leg 8 times, squeezing the glute, nice straight leg, pointed toes. Good. And then we'll pulse for 8. And we'll bring the leg all the way through to a lunge, inhaling to lift the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe here, lower into your lunge, pull the belly button into the spine, shoulders down the back, and we'll take a twist, bringing the elbow to the knee, and back to center, lowering the hands on either side of the front foot, dropping the back knee, untucking the back toes, and reaching for that back foot. Good. We're going to go ahead and kick the foot into the hands, squeezing the glute, dropping the hips for 8. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to sustain, squeezing those glutes, dropping those hips, pressing the foot into the hand, releasing that. Straightening out the front leg, flexing the front foot, reaching the hands as far past the foot as you can, and then windshield wipering the leg from side to side. And coming back towards our lunge, we'll tuck the back toes, straightening out both legs, coming into a triangle pose. And then we'll come back to our plank. Again, tapping the shoulders, opposite hand to shoulder, trying not to rock too much from side to side. A little rocking is going to happen though. And then we'll open to side plank, hand to bicep, elbow to elbow pit, rotating the body in and back out. Good. Coming back to plank and switching into your other side plank. Hand to bicep, elbow to elbow pit, and back up. Good. Go ahead and chaturanga and upward facing dog. Maybe dropping the head back, maybe lifting the toes towards the head. And then go ahead and lift the hips and come to downward facing dog, and we'll lift the right leg 8 times. And do 8 pulses. Nice straight leg, pointed toes, glutes engaged. Bring that foot all the way through to a lunge, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, arms to heart center. Breathing here, engaging the glutes, pulling the belly button into the spine, and we'll take a twist. Good. Hands on either side of the foot, untucking the back toes, reaching for that back foot. We're going to kick the foot into the hands, squeezing the glutes, pulsing the hips lower towards the ground for 8. And then we'll sustain. Releasing that. Straightening out the front leg, flexing the front foot, reaching the hands beyond that front foot. Windshield wipering that foot from side to side. Then coming back to our lunge, tucking the back toes, straightening out both legs, triangle pose. And bringing the front foot to meet the back, coming back into our plank. We'll do one more set of shoulder taps for 8. Opening to side plank, hand to bicep, rotating in and back out. Coming to the other side, hand to bicep, rotate in and back out. Good. Lifting the hips, downward facing dog, bend the knees, look up at the hands, hop or step to the front of your mat, taking a forward fold, interlacing the hands behind the back. Feel free to bend the knees here. You can do both or one at a time. Releasing the hands, giving the legs a hug. We're finding some compression. Go ahead and place the hands on the floor, lifting the hips, lifting the heels, then dropping the hips, coming all the way into boat pose. Holding here, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Keep breathing here, nice long legs. And then lowering down for 4 and up for 4. Down and back up. Last one, down and up. Bending the knees. We'll do some lemon squeezers. Going down and squeeze. Good. Keep really going. Pulling the belly button into the spine. Inhaling as you go down. Exhale as you come up. Nice. Lowering the forearms on the ground behind you, keeping the heels lifted off the ground. We'll do some beats here, nice long legs, pointed toes, keeping the belly button pulled in towards the spine. And releasing the feet down towards the ground, maybe releasing the neck here. Going into like a half fish pose. Then whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and lower onto our backs, hug our knees into our chest, and rock from side to side. And take some circles with the hips and knees, going in one direction. And then the other. We'll go ahead and lower our heels onto the floor, taking a moment here to just breathe, seeing how your body feels different from when we began our practice. Focusing in on some nice, big, deep belly breaths here. Sending all this oxygen to all of those muscles working so hard for you. If you've placed your hands on your chest or your abdomen, go ahead and release those down by your side. We'll snow angel the arms up above the head, squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips, really pressing the hip flexors open, and just holding here for a moment. Continue to breathe as we go into this nice gentle back bend. And then lowering the hips down. And again, squeezing the glutes to lift the hips up and lower. Squeezing to lift, lowering down. Again, squeeze, press the hips open and lower down. Up and hold. Good. And then we'll squeeze and pulse. Pulsing up, opening those hip flexors, and then pulsing the knees together. Continue squeezing the glutes. Keep breathing here. Good. If arms overhead is too much for here, you can do the same variation with the arms down by the sides. Then we'll lower and lift a couple more times here. Engaging those glutes, waking up the back side of the body. Good, a couple more here. Squeezing and holding up, and we'll pulse for 10. And pulsing in for 10. And lowering down. Good. And a couple more lift and lowers. We're really waking up those glutes. Squeezing up, lowering down. Checking in on your breath. Are you breathing here? Because you should be. Squeezing the glutes up. Lowering the hips down. Squeeze and lift. Lower down. Good. Keep going. We're going to hold now. And we pulse. Pulsing up. almost there. Keep going. And then we'll pulse the knees in. Lowering all the way down to your mat, giving the knees a hug into the chest. And then we'll go ahead and take a plow or a shoulder stand or one of each. Then bringing the feet all the way back down to your mat, arms by the ears. We're going to push up into our first bridge. Really engaging those glutes here. And we'll rock back and forth a couple times. Bringing the weight from the hands into the feet. Really opening the shoulders here. Trying to press those hip flexors up towards the sky. Keeping the glutes nice and engaged. Whenever you're ready to come down, go ahead and lower back onto your mat. You can take another shoulder stand here and a plow. And rolling all the way back down through each vertebrae to put both feet back on the mat. We'll rock the knees to one side, taking a small twist, and to the other. Good. There's my little morning yawn. We'll open up those glutes, taking a figure 4 stretch, flexing and pointing the foot a couple times. Maybe taking some circles in one direction and then the other. And then use that elbow to really press out on the knee as we start to rock back and forth just a little bit. We'll release the right hand, grabbing hold of the right toes and rolling onto the right side of our body, taking a little twist here as we open the left hand out, looking towards our left shoulder. Good. Breathing into this twist. Releasing the toes, bringing the legs back to your center line, and taking a figure 4 on the other side. We'll flex and point the foot a couple times, taking some circles in one direction and then the other. Utilizing that elbow to press out on the knee that's bent. Maybe rocking from side to side a little bit. Good. Then we'll release the left hand, grabbing hold of the toes and rolling over to the left side, opening the right shoulders out, taking a twist here. If the toes are not accessible for you in this position, it's totally fine to go for the ankle or the calf, whatever you can grab a hold of. Breathing into this twist and then releasing the feet back down to the mat. Just taking a couple breaths here, and then we'll go for one last shoulder stand and plow. And then we'll press into backbend. Squeezing the glutes, pressing open the shoulders, trying to get the weight into the hands, maybe trying to straighten out the legs. If you want to take a variation here, you can lift one leg up towards the sky and then the other. You can also try walking the hands and feet closer together. Whichever variation you like, just make sure you keep breathing. Whenever you're ready to come down, go ahead and slowly lower onto your mat. Give your knees a hug into your chest. You can rock from side to side if you like, or you can just find stillness here. Taking a couple breaths. We'll release the feet back down onto the mat. If you've moved along your mat, you might have to inchworm back up. And then we'll do abs, stacking one foot on top of the other, reaching opposite hand as foot on top across the body for 10 on each side. Really getting those shoulders off the ground, keeping the belly button pulled into the spine. We always want to do abs after we do big back bends or chest opening. And whenever you're ready, find a Shavasana pose. Close your eyes. Let your body melt into the ground. Just focusing back in on your breath. Big inhales, filling up the belly. And exhale. Feel free to spend as much time as you need in Shavasana here. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today. Have a blessed rest of your day. Sending you all my love.